All right. Good morning. It is Thursday, February 12th, 2026. I am SirFelixTheCat, and this is Talk Better Politics Morning Talk. Have just a couple stories I want to talk about, and then something that we all know, but we need to practice better, and there's a way to do it for paying, but you can also do it for free just by, looking. Anyways, first, the big story, Pam Bondi acting like a high school girl. I mean, not even a high school girl, because there's high school girls who are more mature than this. Acting like a little brat in front of the House Judiciary Committee. It's quite disgusting. She was there to talk about the whole Epstein file debacle, how they redacted files before they redacted files, so double redactions. When these people went in there to go see the unredacted files like they were supposed to, they found out that once they removed the black bar, it was already whited out before then, so they still couldn't see it. It was ridiculous. It was a joke. And they try to say, oh, we're not protecting anybody, but you are. But she couldn't even say that. She couldn't say, hey, we're not defending people. Her excuse was everything under the sun about how Trump is the greatest president we've ever had. Or, the Dow is doing so well. Or, you just have Trump derangement syndrome. Instead of addressing any sort of fact at all. It was absolutely absurd. Key moment would be this. Go ahead and put this in full screen. Oh, let me start that over because I got to share audio. 1 second. Sorry about that. 1 second. Share audio. All right.
There are questions about those children, but it's a different thing. The fact is, ICE is running rampant, and you are not investigating them. When they killed Mr. Pretty and Miss Good, that was an execution, and you did not investigate it. And you tried to investigate her, Miss Good's widow, and you tried to investigate Mr. Pretty. They were executed like Kristi Noem executed her dog, and that was wrong. And you should investigate those people, and you should investigate anybody that uses a weapon, federal official or not, for civil rights violations. I yield back the balance. Gentlemen,
beautiful. That's the only thing to say about that. That was absolutely beautiful. It was true. There was another one. I want to see if I can find this one as well.
Did you ask Merrick Garland?
Just one moment. One moment. Oh, it's not going to show it to me. There we go, under law. I knew I'd find it. Come on. All right, let's go back to sharing.
He's the one.
Sorry about that. I'm just messing up today. I didn't realize I was muted the whole time.
I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaiming my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Chairman, please stop the clock.
the legislation. This
time
belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness.
A criminal getting upset about being called a criminal. Hilarious.
This statement, who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center, he drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell. So should the men who patronized his operation. And as we sit here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
May I respond?
Absolutely. Absolutely. She should 100% resign after that. She's not just embarrassing herself, she's embarrassing the country with everything she does. That's all she knows how to do, because she just wants to suck up to Trump. What I think was the most embarrassing thing, though, out of the whole thing, was this. At one point, 2 points, victims that were in the audience were asked to stand up, and you can see them here raising their hand because they were asked, raise your hand if you're still waiting for the DOJ to reach out to you for information. All of them. Because if you get information, dear leader is in trouble, which is why Pam Bondi is doing everything she can to protect pedophiles. That is what her job is right now. Attack Trump's enemies and protect him over the country's, over the good of the country. That's what they do. This DOJ has been purely weaponized just to protect Donald Trump, who does not deserve the protection. But yeah, this is a very, very powerful picture. Because look at them. They're looking at her. And she's like, nope, I refuse to turn around. She was asked to turn around and apologize. Nope. Instead, she wanted to defend Donald Trump some more. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. 100% should be removed from her position. And again, we should not have another sycophant, another lapdog of Trump be in this position. Because again, they do no good. She talks about all the good he's done. Because stock markets are going up. Stock markets that really affect absolutely nobody. It doesn't help me. Am I making more money? Is my life better because the Dow has gone up? After he already sank it, now it's going back up. That helps us? No. Grocery prices are still expensive because this idiot's in office. We have pedophiles running free on the street, probably still doing these activities because he's in office. I mean, he's one of them, running free on the street, probably still doing these things. It's an outrage. It makes the whole country look pathetic. That's their MO. Make us look pathetic. Because that's how you look strong. You protect pedophiles and harass women and make yourself look like an idiot, I guess. On to another story. Greg Bovino's back. Trump's former border chief congratulated agent who shot U.S. citizen 5 times during immigration crackdown. This is a story I talked about a couple weeks ago that most people had forgot. Oh, goodness. Come on, go away. Miramar Martinez, a U.S. citizen, was shot 5 times by a Border Patrol agent in October while in her vehicle. She was charged with felony assault after Homeland Security officials accused her of trying to ram agents with her vehicle. But yeah, the video, because every time these little douchebags in this administration lie, video always calls them out and shows the truth. Was she trying to ram them? No. They cut her off. They swerved in front of her and she tried to get out of the way. Kind of sounds like what happened with Good. She tried to move out of the way, not hit the officer, so the officer did what he thought was right by pulling out his gun and trying to execute her. God, it's so frustrating. Why we still have ICE the way it is, and we're going to be talking about that. That's part of our last story, what caused me to bring up the last topic, at least. ICE needs to be just removed, 100% removed. But yeah, this guy is a vile piece of shit. To praise the guy who tried to kill a U.S. citizen because he felt insecure that some woman was going to, I don't know, hurt his feelings. Like, what is this nonsense? But yeah, I mean, we've known Greg Bovino is a Nazi. He tries to dress like one. Like, he realistically tries to dress as close to a Nazi did back in the day as possible. Maybe not in the full, like, military uniform, but he wears that jacket that resembles it. The only thing he's missing is the mustache, and he just needs a better haircut. And he's full on Nazi. His actions show he's also a Nazi. And I hope one day he does go to prison for the rest of his life. I don't care if he retires. He deserves prison for the rest of his life. Everybody in this goddamn administration, prison, rest of their life, or whatever law comes, which makes that term shorter. We had 6 Republicans in the House do something great. They sided with Democrats to go against, what's his stupid name? Mike Johnson and Trump on the tariff vote. Because Mike Johnson, like I said yesterday, was trying to shut it down because, you know, if Dear Leader can't get his way, it makes him look bad. But these Republicans were like, no, because they understand you are making life worse for everyone. Your tariffs do not help anyone. They are a tax on the people. And these people, given they are filthy rich because they're doing this insider trading, like all, I mean, that's the one thing Pam Bondi said yesterday that was accurate. I like Jamie Raskin. He's puts a lot of force out there, says a lot of things for good, but she did say, and I hear you're really good at trading. Yes, because all our politicians are doing insider trading. They're getting information we're not privy to, and so they get to make all these purchases on the stock market to make themselves richer. That's disgusting. That needs to end. But yeah, the best Republican we have right now, Thomas Massie, 100%. The fact that he's pushed so hard to get these files released is just amazing. It lets you know there's at least one member of the GOP that's not a kitty diddler. It's sad that, you know, I'm going to forget his name again, even though they just showed him on one of the videos. Jim. What the hell is his name? I hate him so much that I just purposely forgot his name. Jim Jordan. There we go. Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan protects pedophiles. He's shown it constantly. Yeah, I got to remember that. Jim is in Jim and then Jordan because Jordan was in the gym. It makes sense. But yeah, Jim Jordan is a vile piece of shit. The fact that he stays around is just to protect pedophiles at this point. Protect the evil that the GOP causes. We need more Republicans like Thomas Massie who want to actually, like, you know, buck the system a little bit and be like, it's not right. Given Massie, still a hardcore conservative. But at least he's anti-pedophile. So there's one person in all of the GOP that goes against it. You had other ones who said they were. Boebert, she was against it, but you know what ended up happening? No, she sided with them because got to side with that party. You've had a few of them that come out and be like, oh yeah, we're against this. Oh, when it comes time to vote, no, we're Republican. We're going to talk big. But yeah, we did have 6 Republicans that sided with Democrats to overturn the tariffs on Canada. We need more. Yep, and one of them, again, was Thomas Massie, because he's been showing he understands you can't screw over the entire country for yourself. We had Don Bacon, which I love his name. Don't know why. Probably because I love bacon. Kevin Kiley, Dan Newhouse, Jeff Hurd, Brian Fitzpatrick, which I was surprised by that one. Being someone who lives in Pennsylvania, usually Republicans from Pennsylvania are pretty vile. And yeah, we had a Democrat say no, which was weird. Like, he didn't want to stop the tariffs, but that was Jared Golden. Why he's siding with them, who knows? Who knows? He likes to make people's life miserable. Probably kind of like that guy from Texas who I talked about a couple of weeks who was saying like, no. We need to fund ICE, and then sometime down the road we can correct it. Nah, that's not how that works. You tell them, okay, here's your money. I don't think Brian Fitzpatrick's in my area. I think he's more towards Pittsburgh. Let me see. Fitzpatrick. Let me see. Oh, no, that's more north of me. It's way north of Philly, top of the state. So very far northeast. I mean, it's only a few hours drive, but yeah. Yeah, no, we luckily in my area have gone Democrat. Like it's a pretty blue area. Same for Philly. Philly's a very blue area. It's when you get to those more rural areas, there's not much happening up in that area of Pennsylvania. But yeah, no, with this, it's good to see these Republicans siding with someone who is on our side, on the Republican Party, Thomas Massie. I am happy with what he's been doing. I won't say I fully support the guy just because he's a Republican. Never know what they're going to do. But it's great to see. And he's from Kentucky, which is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. But let's talk about this last story. As I was pulling up articles, I use Google News, and I find a story, and at the bottom of it, you can click, like, see more views and opinions. So that's what I clicked on. And what caused that was I see this, like, here's how a DHS shutdown would hurt people. You have Congress prepares for the Homeland Security shutdown. Democrats are turning the tables on immigration. Then you get Washington Post, which, as we know, leans very far right. How to rein in ICE without undermining its mission, aka, only other way to read this is how to let ICE continue killing people and treating people not from this country like they're just terrorist scumbags and we have to kill them all. Well, rein it in a little bit. That is an article calling out pro-murder. They want ICE to kill citizens. They want ICE to kill people who are not white. Well, I can't even say not white. We just had a story come out the other day, which I should have pulled up. An Irish immigrant. A big, tall, white ginger dude. They put him in there. And yes, he came out and admitted, oh yeah, they treat us like shit. You're lucky to make it out. It's just more proof what they're doing to us, or to the people they lock up, is they want you to die. These big properties they've been buying up. ICE, which is, again, they're now struggling for money again because they went out and bought all these big properties to turn into detention facilities. They're now extremely hurting for money. Also, any moron who's signed up for ICE to be an ICE agent missed like the biggest thing about their whole, like, oh yeah, you're going to get this bonus, this $50,000 bonus. They know these people can't read. You get that bonus after 5 years of service. So we're going to make sure we destroy your life first by being part of this Gestapo, this terrorist cell. And then if you're not put in prison for the rest of your life by the time this administration's over, then you can have $50,000. Because their whole plan is they know this administration understands this isn't going to fly for long. They're going to get defunded. And then they'll do what they always do. No, we don't pay bills. That's the Trump administration way, the Trump way. Do not pay bills. Do not pay people what they're owed. And that's another story that people don't seem to talk about. But that's why it's important to, like, I've touted, I want ground news because ground news does this for you. However, I do it myself. I open up the articles, I go through and see them. I see that, yes, leaning very far right. You can tell what side they lean to most of the time just by reading the title of the article and seeing who it's from. Politico tends to be middle of the line. They're a good source of information, middle of the line. The Guardian, which I love, they tend to lean a little more left. PBS, kind of left-leaning, but still middle of the road. NBC is going to be left. ABC is going to be left. Go through and actually read. See what's going on. Read multiple stories, which I'll sometimes pull up like PBS, NBC. I'll even pull up something like Fox News or the Washington Post until it tells me I have to pay for it. Same thing with New York Times. They make you pay for it. But yeah, go through them. Search them as quick as you can. Find other links. Going through stuff like Yahoo and MSN is great because they'll pull up the article on their end and it doesn't count as you actually going to like the New York Times or something like that. I've read articles on USA, which doesn't like ad blockers, but I've pulled it up through MSN or through Yahoo because then it's not actually me going to USA site, so I don't get flagged for it. But find a way to read and actually inform yourself. If people in this country truly read, understood words, informed themselves, we would have way less people supporting ICE, way less people supporting Donald Trump, and more people understanding the corruption that happens on a daily basis. It also came out, the bridge issue, Bridgegate, I guess we can call it, with Trump. The new bridge being built from, I think it was to Michigan, from Canada to Michigan or something like that. Trump was for it. But then one of his donors hit him up and was like, hey, I don't like that. So then Trump's against it. Because corruption, bribery. Basically, the dude probably gave him money to then go against it. The same thing I could then complain about with our government. They are easily bought out. They're bought out by corporations and the rich. You give them money, values don't mean shit because now I have that money. And this kind of stuff needs to end. Choosing your own pocket, your wallet and bank account over just what's good for people, what will help people. I don't understand how that is not the very definition of treason. You're saying, fuck the country, I'm getting paid. This kind of stuff needs to stop on every level of government. If a city hall person, like for a local city hall, if they are taking bribes from some corporation to pass some like law to let their hot dog stand now do more business on this street corner, you're going against the country. You're going against what's right. It needs to be stopped. We all understand what corruption is. I mean, some of us might get it skewed and be like, oh, you know, corruption was Biden going to the beach while he's a retired former president, which is a Fox News story. It's corruption that former President Joe Biden went to the beach. But it's not corruption to take bribes to stop construction happening, to get new pharmaceutical companies paid more. It's disgusting. It's not illegal to take a plane from a foreign country which has ties to funding terrorism. But it's okay because we have our own terrorism. This administration is terrorism. But yeah, basically I just want to talk about Reed and that, yes, Google News is a good resource because you can break everything open. It's do what Ground News does by yourself if you can't afford Ground News. If you can't afford Ground News, support them because they do a good job. They make things a little more obvious. Yeah, no new money for ICE and CBP. That is very much a good statement. Anyways, that was what I had. So frustrating that this government continues to do what it does. The Epstein-related stuff is even more disgusting because they're protecting a guy that the majority of the world, without a doubt, agrees he is a criminal because of stuff just in the Epstein files, not even counting all the other crimes he's committed, just because of the stuff in the Epstein files. And they're protecting him. And that all these Republican politicians have decided, yep, I have no morals. I have no soul. I like when kids get diddled by men. Oh, yeah, the Dow and the NASDAQ doing great. They're up by like 500. Honestly, when Pam Bondi was talking about the Dow and NASDAQ and all that shit, it reminded me of Trump talking about how much he's going to reduce the price of prescriptions. 1,500%. And it's like, yes, it went up. It went up from the multiple times you and your administration have tanked it. Like, it's absurd. And it does nothing for anybody. If Trump's administration wanted some like bonus points, it wouldn't be hard. Push for a like at least $25 minimum wage. And you know what? People will back that. I don't like Trump. He's a scumbag. I'll support a $25 minimum wage because that's more fair to the people. But sadly, he would also be like, oh, yeah, you know, we're going to allow a $25 minimum wage, but we're also going to allow companies to raise their prices 1,500%. Yep, that's how that would go. Because we can't have regulations. Nope, we got to remove regulations. Regulations are bad for companies and the rich. Yep. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, they're a freaking joke. The whole administration is a freaking joke. But yeah, that was all I had for today. I thank you for coming. I didn't say good morning, so good morning, Carl. And yeah, until tomorrow, hopefully. Oh, let me talk about another story really quick. We had a big snowstorm, which I've talked about multiple times. And it like just hammered everybody with snow and ice and whatnot, or most of the country. And when I got off work yesterday, I got to see that, hey, that snow destroyed my roof. And now it's flooding in through the wall, breaking the ceiling. It's wonderful times. It's wonderful times. And that's the kind of thing that I think the government should have a group to support. Some sort of like, I don't know, social system that helps people get this kind of stuff taken care of, because it's not my fault that we had some bizarre storm. And that even now, there's still snow underneath my car because they can't get the side streets plowed because that's impossible. It's too small. They did the main street, can't do the side streets. And we need some sort of like social system to help people who are in need like this. I went to look for applications for like funding to see like what's going on here. For home repairs alone, for one charity organization, there's over 3,500 applications put in for just home repairs related to this storm. Wild. That's 3,500 people who are saying like, I can't afford this. I can't afford this, which most people can't, which why that $25 minimum wage would help some, because more people would be able to afford more. Still, we would need more than 25. We need closer to like 30, 35, but it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, that is life. That's what we got to deal with. Anyways, like I was saying, thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow. And yes, hope you have a wonderful day. Hey, thanks for watching this video. And if you could, please help us out and give us a like, maybe comment, and subscribe. Better yet, share our content. It's pretty dark times out there, and this is topics that people need to hear. It's what's best for our country. I mean, we're talking about better politics. And also, if you want, join our Discord. Carry on the conversation. It's a fun time. And until next time, you take care.